Conceptual introduction to Project 2, collaging a landscape and connecting to the surreal subconscious. Obviously, this comes from the art movement of surrealism itself, which attempts to bring into visual language some things that are happening in the subconscious mind. So landscapes become a very crucial part in describing mental state in regards to the way that Salvador Dali paints. These places are not within the world, yet they are talking about an internal world, one that is driven by different desires, different emotions. Ants coming out of things play a crucial theme. Flies and time, and here a face that's sleeping on the earth, broken up into these geometrical states. It's interesting how this can connect to a larger idea of collage, where a lot of these paintings have little elements, few elements, and how could you actually create a surreal effect with more elements than fewer elements? This got me thinking about the murals of Diego Rivera and how there's all these different elements that are incorporated into them, and oftentimes these are political in nature. These are about indigenous peoples of Mexico, and thinking about how this becomes a way to navigate the composition, and how collage plays a very crucial role in understanding a mural like this, where it can be fantastical at times because of the orientations, because of the graphic styles, but it could also have a very deep impact to the viewer. Here's Andy Valdiva doing something a little bit more subdued and localized. Here, all of these, and this is a mural as well, but then all of these different elements are kind of copied and pasted in a painting style coming from an archive. So then this stacks up in a very different way than, say, Diego Rivera's does, which kind of has volcanoes coming out from an angle and different ways that perspective is pushed. And here in Andy Valdiva's work, it's all very much part of this photographic archive that's stacked up. This brings us to Case Simmons, which is thinking about the digital and the way that Photoshop is used in this project rather than painting. These images are pulled from open source, just like our project is, and here is this ultimate still life contained of thousands and thousands of Photoshop layers, and then printed out onto this frame that mimics the paintings that they are being pulled from. This is a very complex approach, and obviously we're doing a lesser version of this. We're just doing 100 layers. This is thousands and thousands of layers. So getting deeper into how you might want to strategize, understanding perspective, that things get larger and then recede smaller as it creates the illusion of perspective. Also, pattern and clusters of information can create eye lines and ways to organize information. Here's another one by the artist Case Simmons, pulling from different movies this time, thinking about how this creates a landscape that has a horizon line here, and then the sky continues up on top of that. Here's a detail of the work, and you can see that this is very much intricate, very intricate, and has many, many, many different layers on top of layers on top of layers. But this is something that we're not expecting you so much to do, but going back to the original here, this is, something that is uh, better sketched out. So I would recommend you sketching out ideas and saying, okay, out of all the Getty archive, which paintings do I want to focus on? What sculptures do I want to focus on? What kind of backgrounds do I want to focus on? Can I amass a collection of clouds? Could I amass a collection of different grasses or foregrounds? And how can I bring that all together? Can I create simplicity within this complex arrangement? Does it have to be all over like this work does, or can it still have 100 layers and still be quite readable in terms of Salvador Dali, for example? So I recommend just getting a pencil and a piece of paper and sketching your strategy out first, and then figuring out where you want to go from there, and then getting started.